Do you need expanded ports, card reader support, and RAID from your hard drives? Well, I think I've got the perfect device for you. Hello everyone, my name's Mike, and here at SABRENT we love to make and talk tech, so if that's what you're into, then make sure to hit that subscribe button and notification bell so you can stay updated with all our future videos. So today I want to talk about the SABRENT USB Type-C to dual 3.5/2.5 SATA and RAID docking station, which has a whole bunch of features that I'll go into. So let's open up this box, show you what you get inside, and then talk about some of the awesome things about this docking station. So to begin with, we have the user manual, which will go through some of the features of the device, how to set it up, and then some of the things that you should be aware of. We then have a 48-watt power adapter, a USB Type-C cable, a bunch of screws for the hard drive fittings, the locking keys to the docking station, and lastly, the docking station itself. This docking station has a whole bunch of features that I think you guys are absolutely going to love, especially if you are a content creator. So first of all, you have two bays which you can use your SSD or mechanical disks in single mode or in a RAID array. You then have a USB 3.2 USB Type A port. You then have a CFast card reader 2.0 and a UHS-2 SD card reader. Each of these bays have LED notification lights, and you've also got a locking section which allows you to securely insert your SSDs or hard drives without worrying about it accidentally popping out. Now, to remove the trays, all that you need to do is firstly grab your locking key, and then you want to make sure that both bays are unlocked. Then you want to pull both of these tabs like so, and then you want to pull out the trays carefully, and each of these trays are numbered so that you can insert them correctly in the right way when popping them back in. To mount your hard drive or SSD into the tray, all that you need to do is make sure you've got the correct number of screws. You want to grab a screwdriver, and then there will be a little notch on the tray itself, and this lines up with the SATA connector. So I will flip this around and then pop it in like so. And then you want to turn it around, and you will see 4 screws which are perfect for the supplied screws, and you just want to screw that in one by one. Now that you have both drives installed, all that you need to do is just slot them in the correct order like so, and then push down on the tab, and then do the same again with the second tray. Push that in, and you should hear a reaffirming click when it's all secured into the docking station. Now you can grab your locking key and make sure that both drives are locked safely and securely. So taking a look at the back of the device, we have a built-in cooling fan, which is going to be really useful for cooling down those hard drives when they're used extensively. We then have a RAID controller toggle switch, which I'll get into how it works with that set switch. We then have a USB 3.2 Gen 2 Type-C port, which allows for up to 1000 megabyte per second transfer speeds. We then have a DC input, and lastly, the power switch. When it comes to the speeds for the ports at the front of the docking station, because we have a USB 3.2 Type A port, this allows for up to 5 gigabits per second. We then have a CFast 2.0 card reader, which allows for up to 550 megabytes per second. And then the UHS-2 card reader allows for up to 270 megabytes per second. This docking station is built really well. It's got a solid and durable metal construction, allowing you to have confidence in this docking station. So once you've plugged in the power adapter to the docking station and then plugged in the USB cable from the docking station to your computer, the next thing you'll probably want to know is, how do I configure this thing? Well, firstly, you want to make sure that the hard drives are formatted in the correct format for your chosen system. So if you are going to be using just Windows, then you want to make sure that both drives are set up in NTFS file management system, or if you're using it for both Windows and Mac, then I would recommend using the exFAT format so that it is cross-compatible with both macOS and Windows. So as I mentioned before, we have a few options when it comes to setting up this docking station. We have RAID 0, RAID 1, large and clear, and I'll explain what each one does. So RAID 0 is a non-redundant data mapping technique that combines data evenly across all the disks. In this mode, disks are used simultaneously, which increases performance dramatically. In this mode, this will be viewed as one unit. Now, when you are setting up in a RAID 0, you want to make sure that both drives are of equal capacity, because otherwise, if you've got one drive smaller than the other, then it's only going to use that smallest drive capacity. So if you've got a 1 terabyte drive and a 500 gigabyte drive, it's only going to see it as a 500 gigabyte drive. So you're going to be losing out on storage. So just make sure that you've got equal capacity to maximize the capability of this docking station in RAID 0. So make sure that you are aware of this before setting up in RAID 0. And in case you set it up in RAID 0 and you're wondering, why is it that when I have 5 terabytes, let's say, available, but my computer is only seeing 2 terabytes? Well, that's because of the RAID 0 configuration. It is only going to see the smallest capacity and then divide it equally between the two drives. Then you have RAID 1, which consists of 2 disks storing duplicate copies of the same data. In this mode, the data is written to both disks simultaneously. There is no performance increase with this mode. However, in return, it is the most safest option because the data is replicated on all of the disks. We then have large, which is also known as JBOD, most commonly known as, and this combines both the hard drives in a single logical unit. So unlike RAID 0, which stripes the data across the 2 disks, it writes the data to the first disk until it reaches full capacity, and then once it is full, it then begins writing data to the second disk. There is no redundancy or performance increase, it's just a bunch of drives, as large suggests. And the last option is clear, and here all the disks will be recognized and behave as single independent units. So to set it up, all that you need to do is pull up and down each of these white little toggles that you see, and you want to set it up in whatever way you want. And then you see the set button just over here with either your fingernail or a pen or something like that. Just lightly press this set button for between 5 to 7 seconds and then allow the docking station to set up the RAID. Now, when it's setting up the RAID, please be patient. Depending on the capacity of the drives that you fit in these things can affect the RAID configuration times. So please, if you have large drives and you are configuring it in a RAID system or anything like that, then just be patient. You'll see it blinking. Just let it go until you see a solid blue light, and then that means that the drives are ready to be used. And please make sure that during the RAID process and the setting process that you do not disconnect the power adapter or turn this thing off. So once you've done all of that and the setup process is complete, the docking station is ready to use, and oh my god, you're going to love it. The fact that this thing has all of the RAID configurations that you could want out of a 2-drive system, and the fact that you get an extra port and some card readers as well. Basically, this is a one device solution that you can just have sat on your desk and it can work for you rather than against you. This is a great way to dip your toes into RAID without having to get a full Synology system or custom rig RAID system. You don't have to worry about that. This is a great way to have a small, compact docking station on your desk that provides all of the features that you could ever want. If you're interested in picking one of these up, then I'll have links down in the description below. But anyway, that's it for today's video. If you've enjoyed it, then make sure to smash that like button and also hit that subscribe button and notification bell so you can stay updated with all our future videos. Anyway, thanks for watching and we'll see you in the next one. Bye.